All right. So you can see I've got bedhead here, and this is when I'm normally going to be streaming. I'm going to try to get an evening session in occasionally, but I've got to be a little bit careful because if I get too distracted with doing these, then I'm not going to have as much to share with you. And so, like today, I did something that I never done before, and that is I ran the dishwasher, or I unloaded, loaded, and ran the dishwasher. Hear it in the background, probably, um, while the coffee maker was running. And I don't even know what made me think of that. Why did it even occur to me? I knew I had to do it though. I knew it was critical. I remember, because I know it made it occur to me. My sink was full. I mean, really full. And I'm just like, look, and I'm almost totally out of everything. So I was not out of everything, but I had like one bowl and one spoon left, everything else is fine. I usually, my limiters are bowls and spoons a lot of the time. And so, yeah, I'm just like, I need to do this. And I'm like, when am I going to do it? Because I will do very little, like small things around the house. During the workday, just depending on what's going on, if I'm waiting for something, if there's not anything specific I need to be thinking about or something like that. But nowadays, I'm way too busy. I have just a killer of a crazy project that I'm trying to figure out how to accomplish. And there's just not going to happen. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it right now before I even get into any type of work at all. And then I'm going to really try to focus on work. Okay. So anyway, that's that. And I also recorded it in my calendar. So I just made an event from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. because that's roughly when I was doing it. It's like 7:12 a.m. now or something like that. That says run dishwasher while making coffee. And running dishwasher to me means it almost all. This is another thing I'm trying to get to, but I have to say, more often than not, it means unloading, loading, and running. Because I don't always unload the dishwasher. I just get stuff out of there until I'm almost out of something, or the sink is full enough to drive me nuts. Which brings me to a couple. Let me dedicate just a few seconds here to more confessional stuff, because there was something about this. Oh, I know what it was. I've been making little tweaks here and there. One of the little kind of tiny little tweaks is that I recognize, I used to think that my pot that I cooked with, made pasta in, was, too hot to immediately put into the sink. And I don't know why I thought that, because it's not. I use the pot to stir up everything. I put the chicken, broccoli, the pasta's in there, has just been cooked, and then I go with olive oil, red pepper flakes, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and Parmesan cheese. And I mix it all right in the pot and pour it onto a plate. And by the time that's done, it's an aluminum pot, so it's not going to be that hot. It's going to lose its heat really quickly. So I've started just putting it straight into the sink and with some soap and just filling it up with water. Now, what I used to do was I would fill it up with hot soapy water and let it sit for 5 minutes and then clean it. It's a non-stick pot, but still, I don't know, just how I roll. And I don't clean my pot every night. I don't do dishes like after dinner, or I don't do any of that. I just don't. So this is a tiny little tweak. So I'm going to start putting, or I have started putting the pot in the sink with some soap, filling it up with water, letting the water run while I'm getting my plate into here behind, actually over there, to watch this TV. And then I'm also grabbing like a cup. I'm filling up a cup of water. So by the time I do all that, the pot's full. Bam, sit down, crank on the television, and go from there. So anyway, there's just tiny little tweaks that I'm doing. Okay, so what I want to do is let me bring up my screen. I don't know if I have. Oh, I got to bring up Docs first. Hang on. And let me bring it into a different window. Oops, I don't even know what just happened. Not Docs, Slides. Hang on, I'm just going to bring it up and bring it into full screen so that you can see it. Full screen, then we'll do F11. And then we'll come back. Okay. And let's see if we can share that puppy. So here we are. And this is a presentation that I'm working on. This is the first slide. I don't know if this slide's going to survive in its entirety, but it does show a lot of things. In fact, I wanted to add something to this. Okay, but so I brought this up, and what I want to do is kind of maybe refer to this a little bit, but I also want to update this as I go through here. But I also want to remember some of these things, like the first bullet you see here is morning Gmail review, including Seam and Atom. Seam is actually not the case anymore. Oh, oops, wait. I'm going to say using Atom. And then if I have to change that, I will. So I'm opening up Gmail. Firstly, if I look at on my calendar, I have a set 9 minutes before the hour alarm. So I'm going to do that. This is on my phone's lock screen, and that's because it's a calendar entry. I'm going to clean up some things from, I got an open dishwasher alarm for 8:02. Got several silent mode alarms. That's for what I used when I was meditating, because I put my phone into silent mode. So instead of saying, set a timer for 30 minutes, I say set silent mode alarm for 30 minutes from now. And then I put my phone into silent mode. And then it reminds me to take my phone out of silent mode. And then, so we're going to say 7:51. Now, this 7:51 alarm is this alarm at 9 minutes before the top of the hour. And I don't know if you can see that unless I do it like this. 9 minutes before the top of the hour, each hour. And the I'm going back and forth on this a lot, but I think what I'm doing these days is the 9 minutes before the hour gives me a chance to forward any events that are actually reminders or tasks to the next hour, and then have them show up on the lock screen as part of the top of the hour notification. Let me take a look here. I'm going to go over it into the calendar. So for example, if I, let's say I wanted to run the dishwasher this hour and I just didn't get to it. And so then 8 o'clock got here and yeah, I'm going to forget. I'm just not, the run dishwasher notification is going to disappear from my lock screen. And so what the 9 minutes before the hour originally did for me was to give me, to allow me to, hear that and snooze that alarm so that it would go off again at the top of the hour, because the snooze duration is 9 minutes. And then I would snooze it and allow it to go off at the top of the hour. So then I would then know that I had items on my lock screen and that I had entered a new hour, right? So for time blindness kind of thing. Well, now what I'm doing is I'm just using the calendar, like an audible. I'm doing temporary banners, audible notification, and that's it. And I made the sound for the calendar notifications to be that radar sound, which is the same sound that you get from the alarm. It's just not persistent. It's very important to have those exact settings. I'm going to put those on a chart. In fact, you know what? Why don't I just add that right now? Why don't I just do this? Like, as I do these confessionals, I'll just add slides. It's really not that. What I need is this to be full screen, but then I want to do this. And then we're going to insert new slide. I'm just putting calendar because I don't even know what it's going to be, but I'm going to say, let me just go look at my settings real quick. Notifications. I don't think calendar has badges. Customize notifications, what's that? I don't do anything with customize. I think that's good enough. I just want to capture that because I could. and I'm looking at the time, 7:24. I'm trying to like train. I'm torn around training myself to look at the time, but I don't think I'm really going to get around having that that colon 51 or 9 minutes before the top of the hour thing. All right, let's go back and okay. So now I want to go into Gmail. I've got 6 unread Gmail messages, but what I start with is snoozed. So let's go create another one. I'm going to say red, but not really. I don't really do that. But so the first thing I want to do is I want to look at the starred items in Gmail. And these starred items are items that it's like a safety net. So when I take something and I put it on my calendar, or I star it as something important, let me back up a second. So actually now that I think about it, there's a few more steps here. But essentially, for the morning review, for at this point doing the morning review, the starred items are all going to be red, R-E-A-D, and they're all going to be safety net items, which means I put them on my calendar. I intended to do them. They may not have been that critical, but I was just wanted to remember them for, but I wanted to get them away out of the inbox. So what I do is I put them on my calendar and then I put a star on them and then I snooze them. And so this is also a safety net because if I don't end up it's 2 things. It's a safety net in case I end up not doing them, but it also keeps me from feeling like I need to slide it onto the next day or having to write something down if I'm not going to do it. And then also even having these starred and doing them for tomorrow allows me to just not even care about the earlier part of the day. And, if I'm not going to do something, this is another way that 9 minutes before the top of the hour alarm helps me, because that's my opportunity to say, look, is there anything that needs to be forwarded? And if there isn't, even if there's something I didn't do, but I'm deciding, look, I'm not going to do it, I'm always safe because I'm safe. I'm keeping these things in Gmail. I'm not deleting things out of Gmail. Okay. Now this is interesting. There are a few things I need to do, and I kind of have been ignoring this. I thought I sent something to my work about this. Oh, I know what it is. There is paperwork. Okay, so in my inbox, I have an unread item, which is going to be the second step. The first step doesn't really matter whether you do this first or not, but I like to look at the items that I've already decided to do. So these items have stars on them because it's a safety net, but the fact that they made it onto my calendar means that they're pretty important, but I know, and I remembered this, that I have a review paperwork that has to do with these things. So I'm almost thinking since I have that and I know that like I'm kind of using that to manage this. So let me back up a second. The Gmail starred items, like I said, it's a safety net, but it's a safety net from a number of different things. It basically what I'm able to do is to say, like decide how to take care of something. So it could be putting it on my calendar, but it could also be sending an email to myself at my work email because I may need to be doing it during the day, and the stuff I do during the workday is pretty much managed, especially if it's like a business hour type thing, something I need to do at my desk or something like that. I manage that on my work computer because it's just easier for me to manage my work day, even if there's a few personal items that I need to do during the workday. Now this is another tweak that I'm starting to make because, breaking down tasks, there's also these like splitting the baby kind of stuff where I will, like anything that has to be done on the computer, I'll send it to work. But that's not really, I can do computer work on the weekends. I can do computer work in the evening. I can do computer work during lunch. So I had this idea that if I was going to do something on the computer, I'm going to do it during work because I don't want to be at my desk or I don't want to be at my computer when I'm not at work or something like that. But that's not actually the best way to do this because I've got work to do. Now, if I don't have work to do or things are slow or I'm waiting for somebody and I can make a few phone calls, I think that's okay, especially if I'm working overtime or am going to be working overtime or whatever. I'm working very hard anyway, whatever. You've got to blend your personal life into there. I got to do a time check at 7:30, so we're fine. At 8 o'clock, I'm out of here, and I'm going to be heading behind me to work. So anyway, so something will, I have a task in Gmail. I can address it in any number of ways. It could even be like a physical cue. It could be an email to work. It could be placing it on my calendar. It could be an alarm. It could be any kind of thing. It could be like that I'm going to see like my daughter or something. If it's something that, I need from her and I'm going to see her, so, and I've got another system for that also, but essentially is if I know I'm going to see my daughter and I'm going to be talking to her about something, then I can put that and put a star on it. And because it's like handled, but I just have this safety net here. Okay. Enough of that. So what I was doing was I was reviewing my starred items. I have this doctor's appointment and there's a lot of paperwork I've got to read about it and stuff, but it's not until August. But I don't want to just let it sit. So I created, not this morning, but I already created something saying, look, review all this paperwork because I got like 4 emails or something. And it says, review this paperwork. So what I think I'm going to do is I have that. I'm reviewing my start items first. Next, I'm going to be reviewing my, my unread items. But let's do this. And again, this is me like practicing. I do a lot of practicing to make habits, to develop habits. So these items are starred, but they're not really tasks because there's so many of them. They're really stuff that I need for reference. So what I want to do is something that I do at work. And when I have a number of tasks that are related to each other, I don't move things over into labels because Gmail doesn't work with that. Hang on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flag these with just any arbitrary label. And I can do that because I don't I'm not really using labels anymore. So with the exception of two that I'll tell you about later on. But so I want to group these things together though, because when I see 10 items, it's overwhelming. And this really helps me at work because I might have 15 items about one project or one task, but there's just a lot of emails or something. It can overwhelm me because it's like, oh my God, what do I do with all these things? But when I see them all having the same color or the same category, it's sort of like, oh, okay, that's just one big thing and I just need to get to that and whatever. I'm going to do that here. Wait, what was that? Something just disappeared. I swear to God, something just disappeared. Okay, so let's do this. I am going to take these related things. There's actually 4. I've got 4 emails and they're all the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a label on them. I'm not going to move these things. I think I should be able to move them. Hang on. Oh. I think maybe I can't move them because I'm looking at the starred view. I think that's it. If I want to move something, you have to move it like from, anyway, there's some weird things. But anyway, I'm going to put a label on these. I'm not moving them because I've lost things like that because of the sync, and that killed Gmail for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use purple. I'm going to use purple for these. It's actually going to say the letter Q, and there used to be a meaning to that. Okay, so now I've got these 4 Q items, and they're all starred, but I don't want them to be starred anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to I put the Q or the purple thing on it, and now I'm going to unstar them. Because until I look at this paperwork, they're just in my way. And so now they're still in my inbox, but they're going to have that purple thing. So they're like their own thing. They're also red, READ, so they're not going to show up in the badge count. But that's okay because I have the actual task associated with these things as a separate Gmail task. Okay, so this is kind of like reference. Okay, so now I have another one here that is about another doctor's appointment. And it is, this is just like, I went to the dermatologist. I wanted to get my skin checked just to make sure, because I haven't had my skin checked for like, what is it you call it? Like skin cancer or whatever. And they charged me too much when I got there. Now they're charging me more. And then my employer did free screenings and stuff. And I just want to follow up. Actually, that's not true. I already did follow up on this. So I sent, and the only reason I'm telling you some of these details is because of the mechanics associated with these things and how it works into memory management. So I sent, I received was this originally an email? No, I can tell this is a text. Okay, so let me share the mechanics of how this happened. I received a text from my dermatologist office that says you have a new balance of $18.20. Tap here to learn more. Blah blah blah. One of those types of texts. I long pressed it, copy, and then I pasted that into a Gmail task. And then once I did that, it's like, okay, good. Now I have a task, and it's in my sphere of responsibility and awareness, right? It's in my system. And so then what I did was this was something that I needed to follow up with during business hours. So what I did was I forwarded that as an email to my work email. And then what I did was I placed a star on this. Okay. Again, the star always means it's like the safety net. It's like so that I don't forget something or whatever. So I believe this is another technique that I can reference. That's why I like these scenarios, because I'm able to really kind of cover a lot of ground. So this gets to another technique that I'm going to do right now. I don't remember. No, actually I do. What happened was this went to my work, and then it showed up in my work email. Then my work housekeeping process, which is kind of similar to the housekeeping, like I call housekeeping like my morning routine of planning my day. Oh, by the way, okay. What's up, bro? I'm an early bird. So I, when I plan my day at work, just like I plan my day in the morning, personal day, I would see one of the first things I do. I think actually it's the first thing I do is I check email, especially since, like I just said, I'm an early bird, and so I leave work early. Like I get off work at 4 p.m. but I go to work earlier than my colleagues and stuff. So it's not unusual that a colleague at work might send me an email or something or ask me something at like 4:30 or something, and I don't get it. So the first thing, even sometimes I'll check my email before I even get to work, like super early in the morning. Anyway, the first thing I want to do is check my email. And so what would happened is I would have seen this email and all these emails, and then I'd flag the ones that I wanted to do something with. That brings it into my task ecosystem, right, inside Microsoft Outlook. And then I go the next thing after, then I can leave email and switch my attention over to the tasks. I'm also work my tasks and have my tasks appear in my calendar view also. So if there is some kind of meeting or something, I'll see that too, because that would be more urgent if I had a morning meeting or something, but I never do. So I normally just go straight to my tasks, but I can see the calendar stuff right here. And then, so this one for my dermatologist would be one of those tasks because I flagged it and then it shows up in the task. And then what I did in there, and I remember doing this now, is that there is a chat or the ability for me to message this, my benefit, this how do you call it? It's like a third party company that helps people with things like medical claims and guidance in general of any type of clinical or benefits or claims or any of that stuff. So I was able to just send a message to them. And then when I did that, I put the equivalent of a star, like the star here, I put that equivalent in my Microsoft Outlook on this same email, which is just like I'd give it a color blue, which is the same color as the star that's in Gmail. And that is telling me that I've got that covered through a different method, right? So on here, I know that this is being covered on my work computer ecosystem. And then on my work computer ecosystem, I've got this little blue color that says, yeah, I covered this somehow. I don't document how it's covered because I know that it's this chat system. So now what I need to do is I know I need to go and log into that chat system because I think I refuse notifications from that system because they give me stupid notifications. And so, um, I'll do that. I will log into that. I can't log into it here because I'm in the middle of a stream. Can't log into that from my phone. I don't think so. I'm not going to install an app on my phone anyway. So I know that this is fine. And I got triple coverage here. I've got this task, I've got a task on my work computer, and I've got the chat. I just need to remember to log into the system to see what they said about this charge. Okay, so I'm very comfortable with I think I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to keep this though, but I'm just going to do what's called punting. I'm going to punt it to tomorrow. I call it punting because I'm pretty sure that's the thing I need to do. But when something doesn't immediately occur to me with specifically clarity around what to do with something, I can always punt things till tomorrow because I review these things every morning. But in this case, this is the right thing to do because I'm going to take care of this. Most likely going to take care of this today because it'll take me about 20 seconds to log into this system, see what they said, follow up, and so forth. Okay, so that is this one, and now I can go look at my unread items, because remember, all these starred items were just like that safety net. Remember, I converted those other 4 related things into I took the stars off them. I left them as red, READ, and then but I put a purple color on them, or the Q color on them, to indicate that they're related, but I have a separate task that's in the inbox under unread. So that's the next thing I want to do. I want to go. I have another teaching opportunity here, because I'm sitting here looking at my my starred view on my phone, but now I want to go look at the unread items in my primary, or inbox is another word for it. If I want a breadcrumb, and a breadcrumb is something that reminds me of sort of where I was, like if I go on a tangent, I can stay in this view, and I'm going to go ahead and do it just to practice. And always at the top, there's a search. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go search. Category primary is unread. It's going to always be, it's a saved search. It's right there. And now I can start operating. I can start working with these things. Now, it just so happens that there's one screen of unread items in my inbox. If I went to my inbox now, I would see much more than one screen. But since I'm looking at these things one at a time, I'm looking at the starred, which aren't in, no, they are in my inbox. I'm looking at the starred only, and then I'm looking at the unread only, and then I don't even have to look at the read items, because those are by definition not like critical, but they're items that I want to be sort of in my way, in the intersection of Gmail, another term, in case that I'm looking for something to do, or not even looking for something to do, but so that they're in my face, so that I know that there are things that I can do if I can have some time to chip away at some small items, right? Okay, so on the at the very top here is this item I was talking about, that is a separate task connected to those 4 things. And now those 4 things are purple, and I'm just going to treat them like they're just reference in here. Is that the best way to do it? Should I be using my Gmail inbox for reference items? I don't know. I don't want to get too complicated with the way that I'm using all this stuff. Believe me, a lot of people, myself and a lot of people out on the internet who I help, they get overwhelmed with the complexity of a system, and they have a bucket for this and a bucket for this, and when do I plan to do this versus this kind of thing and that kind of thing and this kind of thing. I get it. But to the extent that you can just say, what are the critical things and the non-critical things, most of the time that will cover you. I have one lady, this is a little tangent. One lady, I like these stories and tangents because I think they add value, although they probably will never make it into my 3.0 documentation. This was just a lady. She said that she can't keep up with everything. And so what she does is she rotates like kind of what she drops, so maybe the house is a little messy one week, but she gets to do something to catch up on things to get ready for the new school year for her kids or something, and I love that idea. I never would have thought about that, but that's another way to break things down. It's like, let's spread the love a little bit, by dropping. We know we have to drop things, but they don't always have to be the same things. I thought that was kind of interesting. It's very interesting to me. In fact, it's almost as interesting as the glass ball theory, which we'll talk about some other time. So this top one is this item about let's see. No, this is the one where I have to do. This is a bunch of paperwork. It's going to be very painful to look at this paperwork. Okay. These kinds of things don't happen very often. You got like taxes, you got like medical stuff. I don't have a lot of stuff where there's a lot of documentation and stuff. So I don't think it's a problem that I'm leaving a bunch of the stuff in my inbox. So now what I need to do is I need to apply the the Adhd principle. So let's go back over to this main slide. Oops. Need to get out of there. This one. So in Adhd, this first kind of bullet here, I don't know why there aren't bullets by default in Google Slides, but this first one, morning Gmail review using Adhd. Okay, so Adhd stands for average person, damage, accumulate, and meaningful or matters. I like matters more. There's a reason for that. And so if I look at the average person, the average person, has medical things that they got to do, right? So I'm not like doing some crazy weird shit like streaming. This is not okay, what I'm doing right now. This is not what the average person does. This is a perfect thing for me to eliminate from my life, is doing these streams and all this. But these help me a little bit, and they help other people, and that is meaningful, and that does matter, and it will matter tomorrow if I help somebody today. So I like this. I like to teach. I like to do this kind of stuff. Anyway, when we look at this medical thing, so this medical thing is, it meets the average person test, and I'll go more into the average person test on some other things, but it's pretty obvious that I'm not doing anything weird. It's a medical thing. The average person does it. Is real damage going to occur if I don't review this paperwork today? And the answer is an unequivocal whatever. No, it's not. There's no damage for sure. Is it going to accumulate though? And these accumulate and matter sort of go together depending on the angle you think about them. But is this going to accumulate? In other words, is this task is part of my backlog of tasks. This task is not going to go away. So if on the flip side is if I did this today, it would be one thing off of my to-do list. And it sounds obvious and sort of pedantic, but what it allows me to do when I talk about accumulate is it also helps me to identify things that really kind of don't matter. So for example, if I play guitar today, is it going to matter tomorrow? Well, no, if like I'm not practicing, if it's pure fun, I'm not working on an album or anything like that. I'm just literally just playing something and I'm not learning anything new at all. That's what I call fleeting, right? So tomorrow, that's not going to matter. It's not going to matter that I play guitar today. But if I get this paperwork done, it's going to matter. Oh, let me back up a second. Sorry. So that's the flip side of accumulate, because if I don't play guitar today, it's literally not going to matter tomorrow. I'm not working toward anything tomorrow. It's not like something that's still going to be on my to-do list or something like that. Where this paperwork, if I do it today, if I don't do it today, it's going to be part of the accumulation of my backlog of tasks, right? But if I do it today, it's going to be one less thing for me to do. So it's going to matter tomorrow. It's going to be something useful to have that, and it'll be out of my way, whatever. But I very, very specifically don't want my life to be about nothing other than getting things done, getting all of the things done. So I'll talk about backloading and other things later. But to me, this is a task that this is like the lowest priority thing. I could put this for a month from now and still be fine. I don't know when this is due, but I'm imagining for a procedure, a month from now, that I don't need to do this paperwork and they'll probably pester me anyway. So I'm saying all that to say this. I don't think I'm going to do this paperwork this week. I'm just going to wipe this off my calendar and just punt this to Saturday. Okay. Because on Saturday, I've got time and I work for myself, on Saturday and Sunday. And I might do something fun, so I'm going to need to work this in somewhere. There's no reason I can't look at this paperwork, but now another option I can do, if I want to, I can skip this one and just leave it right here and see what else I've got going on, because the next one is kind of silly. It's kind of silly, but it says, I need gas. I do. It's like, I've got like 10 miles worth of gas in my car. So I don't, I need to be aware that I need gas so that I don't, I don't want to be stressed if I have to go somewhere and I have to stop for gas. I don't want to be that asshole on the road that's in a hurry now, so I just have that. It's just here. So I'm going to skip that one too, because I think I want to see that. Here's the other thing is, if after I go through these things, I end up with something on my calendar that involves me having to drive somewhere, which thankfully I don't. I really don't. The only place I really drive is to perform, to work once a week, which I don't have to do for another 2 weeks, which is awesome because I'm taking next Wednesday off, or to go to the grocery store, which I don't think I need to do until let's see, what was yesterday? Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So my point is that I may not even drive my car for several days. I probably might end up performing somewhere, but even then I might, anyway, whatever. The point is that if I end up, and when I end up with somewhere that I need to go or something, I'll just put and it's at a specific time, I will just go ahead and make a little event that's called I need gas. And so when the time comes that I need to exit the apartment and go out and get in my car, I'll see it and it'll show up on my lock screen. That's the whole purpose of this system. So I'm going to skip that one. So I'm skipping the paperwork. I'm going to skip the I need gas. What's the next one? I normally don't do this, by the way. I'm winging it right now. So I've got this again reminder. These are not all tasks. Sometimes they're just reminders, and I've got this reminder that my knee is ready for strength training because I injured my knee running, and it feels, knock on wood, it's feeling better. It still is a little bit uncomfortable going downstairs, but I'm ready for my strength training. Now, this one is going to go straight onto my calendar because of my, I'll tell you what that is in a second. I might as well tell you that right now. Let me tell you that right now because I have a breadcrumb in the form of the knee thing. So I just got a notification. You heard the sound, and then the temporary banner came down and then popped right back out of my way, and it was telling me to drink water. And that's because I need to drink water, and I won't do it. I won't remember it. I won't do it. I need to be nagged in order to do it. And I've been talking and doing a stream, so now I'm behind. I'm not even drinking my coffee. Oh, by the way, I've got another tweak, which is I'm no longer reheating my coffee. Because if I keep reheating there's a whole story about my Yeti and how dangerous Yetis are. The Yeti cups, thermoses, whatever you call them. And I can tell you about that too. But anyway, I'm not reheating my coffee anymore because it just ends up my coffee ends up being like the whole day. And I love coffee. It's relaxed. It's now 8:01, by the way, so I should be jumping into work. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me show you some real-time things. So that thing came up was my water reminder. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use that to nag me, but I also wanted to ping Microsoft Teams at work so that people know I'm available. I don't want them to think that I'm not available, and I literally so that they will reach out to me if they need something. So there's another one. Now this one is an alarm. As you can see, it's persistent, and it says open dishwasher. And I'm going to snooze that because, as you can probably hear, my dishwasher is still going. So the cycle is a little longer than an hour. So I'm just going to snooze that. It's not a big deal, but if I do open the dishwasher right after it's complete, like all that heat will dry the dishes faster. And I don't use the heating element. We can get into all that. So I just pinged Teams. But another thing, remember I was telling you about the emails? Well, I can go in and I can check my email for work on my phone right now in real time. And while that's thinking, I'm going to go in here and snooze this drink water. Okay, so now it's gone away. I didn't do it to get it away. I got it to nag me. Okay, so now I can come up. Now I'm in my email, and I can see that apparently music for Zoom is ready to use. So I'm good. I didn't receive. This is actually bizarre. I can't wait to get onto my work computer because this is weird because it's like I got nothing since I left the office yesterday, or since I, not physically, but since I got offline yesterday. So that's good. While I'm in here, I can tap my calendar. Oh, and so this is reminding me that people are out. But I also have a lot of work that I need to do. I can't get my head around how to approach this project, but I'll be working on it today, especially as I've got all this coffee in me. Okay, so now I'm going to use breadcrumbs. So I'm going to double click. I'm going to leave that up though. I'm going to leave my work email up. I'm going to leave Teams up. Double click, and I'm going to go back to where I was. And I know where I was because from right to left is how my, Windows on the phone, right? App windows, they open from left to right. So I can go from right to left to go back to where I was. And that means that I was in Gmail. And so I was talking about my knee. And so, so my knee is ready. This is a perfect scenario because all I do with this is I'm going to go in here. And these reminders, I've always actually benefited from this. It's like a little bit of a creative use of these things. But this, if you read this technically, it says my knee is ready for strength training. But there's a lot of else around this. Like today's Thursday. Thursdays are, I think, the days that I'm going to be working my legs, like leg day, and kind of what do you call it? Like planks and stuff like that. Core. I don't think that's dementia. I think it's just me being spacey. And but core. So I'll do some core stuff, do some leg stuff, probably some stretching stuff. Although I've started to do, I think stretching stuff kind of works better when I do the elliptical because the elliptical is only 30 minutes and then I'm nicely warmed up and then I can do stretching with elliptical. Whereas if I do legs and core, that might be enough just in terms of like energy that I have. But this is also reminding me, look, my knee is ready for the strength training. Now, since it's ready, now I can kind of move over into like just making a routine. And so if my knee doesn't feel good, I won't do something. I put this in here because I wanted to just remind myself that I need to start getting back into legs and core. But this is what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to delete this, but I'm going to leave it up right now for a breadcrumb. I'm going to go over to the calendar and I'm going to make an appointment. And I'm going to make it for 4 p.m. and I'll explain why. I'll explain that right now. I'm going to make it for 4 p.m. I'm going to make it for every Thursday. July 11th is today. And the reason I'm going to make it for 4 p.m. and let me back up a second. It's going to be in the calendar because of today, but I'm going to make it for every Thursday. And I'm just going to make Thursday leg day. Leg and core. And I'm going to write down what I just told you about the elliptical and the stretching. So let's do this. And so I'm putting it in the calendar because it's very time specific, even though I may not be going to the gym exactly at 4 p.m., but it's at 4 p.m. that I need to be reminded that it's leg and core day. And that's because I may go at 4, but if I have to have dinner, I'll wait to go to 6, because I'll have dinner in the 4 o'clock hour, and then I'll be digesting my food, and then I'll go to the gym at 6ish. So, but I need to know at 4 because I might go as early as 4. So it's at 4 that I serve up these reminders. They're not tasks. It's not saying I'm doing anything at this time. It's just remember that today is leg and core day. So I'm going to type in leg. I'm going to say legs. God damn it. Fucking idiot. Auto correct. Legs and core today. Okay. Holy shit. Autocorrect fucking sucks, man. I'm waiting for I guarantee you the Apple AI is not going to fix some of this basic shit. That's my drink water nag. It's going to go away, but I see it. It's got plenty of time for me to read it. I love that so much. It's working out so well. So leg and core today. Now I want to do this every Thursday. I'm also going to do it because I'm doing it on Thursday. I think I'm going to go ahead and make it on Sunday. And it's going to be at the same time because I follow a 7-day routine, which is another thing. But let's do I have 7-day routine on here? Let's do that real quick. I'm just going to throw 7-day in here. It doesn't actually equal it or whatever, but whatever. One thing I have been able to train, there are several things I've been able to train my brain to do. And we know through adult neuroplasticity that we can develop habits. And I don't know why we ever thought that I don't know why we ever thought or how we ever thought that we could develop habits without the idea of adult neuroplasticity. So I have this, I'm developing this habit of knowing that I need to ping teams to make sure that people know that I'm available if they need me, right? So I just did that, and that was just boom. It's like, oh, am I pinging that? It's 8 o'clock. I'm putting all that together. My brain is almost automatically putting all that together. I've got the open dishwasher alarm. I'm going to snooze that. So I'm very much a conductor with all this stuff coming in, and I don't really want to be conducting all this stuff, but I can, and I'm able to do it all, and I don't even care. Like the dishwasher's not that big of a deal, but that's just how I roll with the dishwasher. It's the same thing I do with the washer and dryer upstairs because I don't have there's no indicator that the washer's done. Okay, double click. That takes me to the breadcrumb, which is me doing leg and core day. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this repeat. First of all, I'm going to put it under reminder. So I have there's my drink water nag. Remember that I wonder if I'm snoozing that and did you hear that? I don't think I snoozed it. So there's something weird about the way the snooze works because I've been hearing that sound, but without anything new coming up. So there is a bug. All I can hope for. There's many bugs. There's so many bugs. I could do a whole presentation on all of the bugs. That would be fun, actually. I'm going to put that in here. I'm just making that. And I'm just going to fucking go to town on all of the fucking bugs. It's fucked. And there is a purpose to this slide. And the purpose of this slide is to do exactly what I say. Like when I talk about ADHD 3.0 and there's anything related to the phone, it's like you got to do exactly. If you want to use my system, you have to use it exactly. So if you deviate at all, you're pretty much on your own because how I have arrived, and I'm hoping that 3.0 is going to be it. I'm not kidding. There may be like point releases, 0.1, 3.2, 3.3, stuff like that. But I'm hoping that there doesn't need to be a 4.0, at least for a long time. But I've been here before. I've been here. It's like nothing else works and I can make it work this way and then fucking something breaks, right? But since version 2, The kinds of modifications I've been making are less working around bugs and more like just tweaking and honing things a little bit. But in that process, you do find little bugs here and there. Like that bug I just told you about. I don't know where these phantom sounds are coming from. Okay, so that's that. Okay. So now I have a new type of calendar. I've got 3 main calendars. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using 4 main calendars now. One is called continuous reminders, and these are things I want to see all day long. And I don't have any right now, actually, because I realized that it's just not working. But I had one around mindfulness and around agency and stuff like that. It's just not working. Then I have the default calendar, and that's just any new task I make throughout the day. It's going to be like pink. Then I've got routine stuff, which is kind of like a brownish, and that's the routine stuff. And I can see like, okay, these are routine items. I don't really even need to even pay attention to them too much. Sometimes they're not even tasks, just information, but for that apply to every day. Then I have this thing called reminder, strategy, goals, and that kind of thing. Now that I think about it, so I'm going to make this a reminder. No, I'm going to make this a routine because this is a task. This is do this today. And it is kind of in concrete. It's a hard task. And so let's do that. This will be routine, but it's not at 4 o'clock though. No, I'm going to change that. I'm going to make this a strategy or a reminder because this does not have to happen at 4. And if I make it blue, I'll know that. It's like, look, this is just, it's leg day, it's core day. Okay, and then repeat, and we're going to say every week, and then I'm going to go back in to say custom, and I'm going to say Thursday and Sunday. Okay, so Sunday and Thursday are leg and core. Add. And then what was the other thing I want to do? I know I want to do upper body, but I'm not going to do it right now. The only reason I'm doing this right now is I just want to go ahead and set that up because I had, if I double click, remember we were looking at my knee is ready for strength training. And now I don't need that anymore because I've implemented, I've used that information. Hey, my knee feels good. Get back in the saddle. Boom, I just did it. And now every Thursday and Sunday at 4 p.m., I'm going to have a reminder that today is core day and stuff. Now, there's other ways I can do this. I also use the app Strong. I used to use the app Strong, the Strong app. It's called Strong, and it's fine. You know, I use the free version of it. It's okay, but I don't want to. There's reasons. Okay, so delete. I just wanted to point out that you don't have to do everything in the phone, but I can, so I'm doing it. So the next one is the run dishwasher, right? That's done. The run dishwasher's done, and I have the alarm that's going to nag me about opening the door. So that is done. So I'm going to trash that. I've got 2. I got another I need gas. So somehow so let me address that. So why do I have 2 reminders of I need gas? Well, early on, I've been doing this for a long time, and I love doing it the way I do it. But early on, what I would do is I would be like, oh, I need to remember something, but I didn't remember whether I'd already documented that, right? So it's like, look, I know I need to go to the grocery, but do I have that already? Did I put that in a task? So what I would do is I would like open Gmail, search. Oh yeah, I've got that. Well, now I don't do that anymore. Same thing with my grocery list. It's like, I don't care if I have bananas on my grocery list twice. So now what I do is it occurs to me that I've got to go to the grocery, I don't care whether I've already captured that or not. I just create another task and I'll see it. I don't care if things are duplicated. duplicate, triplicate. There's no amount of extra, that's going to hurt anything. And it's the same thing, like I said, with my shopping list. It's like, I don't remember if I put that I needed bananas or something. It's like, fucking just add it again. And so that's what I did here. It's like, I know I need gas, and maybe I forgot that I had it. And so I just said, fuck it, just throw it out there again. And I love that. It's no big deal at all. July 11th. This is confirming a transfer. Okay. So this is a reminder. I transferred money from my checking account to a money market account. And it takes like 5 business days to whatever. And then I checked it, and then I called them, and then I realized the timing of the holiday and stuff like that. So we both agreed that it should be there, like, and available like today. Not a biggie. So here's an open dishwasher. You know what? I'm going to do that right now, because why? I'm going to stop it because I'm pretty sure it's done. Let me go do that now. And why am I going to do it right now in the middle of a stream? Because I can. It's very kind of nitpicky or pedantic a little bit to like even bother opening the dishwasher. It doesn't matter whether stuff's totally dry. Most of the stuff that I'll use on a daily basis is it's done. It's done. I don't need to do it. There's my drink water, so it's going to remind me to drink my coffee. I have all these layers too, so I can very easily just drag down and snooze that again, so it nags me again. I also was able to see that there was nothing else on my screen, so I had I call carte blanche. Time-wise, at least from my phone's perspective, I definitely need to get to work, but I'm almost done. So this confirming that this money was transferred. I don't have to do. I don't have to do it. I just don't. I do not have to do it. So we're sitting here on Thursday. Let me just do it on Saturday. Let's just get this out of the way. Like, now, here's another option. I have another strategy that I'm going to see when. Oh, and if we look at Adam, the average person, money and banking. Like I said, working out is not does not meet the average person test, because I work out every day or I exercise every day. And that it has a cost. I also meditate every day, and that has a cost. The average person doesn't meditate, 30 minutes to an hour a day. That has a cost, but I prefer and choose to spend my time in the gym and meditating. To me, those two things are basically life. Especially in my evenings. I mean, that's just the way I spend my evenings. Dinner, exercise, and meditating. That's just the way it is. And if anybody can tell me something else that I should be doing other than that, first of all, I can do other things, but I'm not looking for anything else. Why did I bring that up? Because, let's see, the average person test. I brought up the average person test, and then I started talking about meditating and exercise and how that doesn't beat that test. So anyway, this money is legit. I don't think the average person would follow up like I do. But the general concern about moving money around is I also have this thing where now that I think about it, I'm going to add to this, because I think I'm going to take more money out. You know what? I'm taking more money So this is what I'm going to do. I'll explain it in a second. Move more money. And I'm going to send it. Okay. And it says that it was sent. So I'm going to delete this. I want to go back. I want to go to primary. It brought me back to snoozed. Remember, like that's a breadcrumb. So, so now it is in primary, right? I just wanted to make sure it's there, and we'll cover that in a second. Let me go back to the unread thing, and it actually will be there. Yeah, so I didn't have to do that. All I had to do was like refresh the search that I was in. And so I've added to this task, and it's what I put was it now says July 11th that I can confirm that money should be available now. You know, it's on my balance, it's in my balance, but it's not available, you know, and today the whole amount should be available. Okay. And what I was getting ready to do was just punt that to Saturday because I just don't give a fuck. It's there. I'm not going to lose it or anything. So it's not a big deal. And it's not a big deal to go ahead and log in and check it. But now, I'm not going to get into it, but basically my bank has pissed me off. They're now charging me for this safety deposit box. They didn't tell me that they were going to do that. I actually converted my checking account to another type of account, which because of my age and because it had a free safety deposit box, it's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Yeah, do it. Right. And then guess what they did? They took it away. So it's an absolute bait and switch. Although I don't really care because it didn't really hurt me, except that they're sort of stealing that $30 because I had no reason to think that they were taking that $30. By the way, that doesn't meet the average person test, but I don't care. I'm not going to have people taking money from me. I could buy the right, theoretically, to just not pay attention to that stuff. But if I don't pay attention to it, I don't even know how much that's costing me. So anyway, so what I want to do, and the reason it comes back to this, it's relevant. So what I want to do is I want to move more money away. I'm taking more money away from them. So I'm going to take more money and put it away from them. And that money actually may pay for my safety deposit box, which is a funny way because it kind of made me realize that there was really an opportunity it doesn't make any sense for me to keep a lot of money in my checking. The only reason I do is because I don't want to worry about, you know, there being enough money in there to pay my bills. But I do pay attention to my minimum balance, right? Like I'll look at the last, I don't do it all the time, but I will I kind of do. When I get the email that says that my bank statement is available, what I do is I don't look at the bank statement. Of course, you can't even fucking read a bank statement on a phone. They don't want you to be able to look at a bank statement on your phone, right? So if I can give you a link to a statement you can't read. But what I do is I just go into like the mobile app and I look at all my transactions. And what I do is I look at my, the last 4 or 5, usually 4 paychecks. Excuse me, 4 paychecks, because I get paychecks like bi-weekly. So that covers, more than a month, right? So I go back like 4 paychecks. It's really quick because there's not a lot of stuff going on in my bank account. It's just there, my paycheck goes into it. and just a few, there's not many transactions at all. So it's very easy for me to do this. And it's very easy for me to see them fucking stealing from me too. So what I'll do is I'll go like 4 paychecks back and I'll look at the balance before my paycheck is deposited, because that's going to be one of the lower kind of balances, right? Because it's kind of running out of money before I get a little more money. And so the amount of money, and so I'm basically keeping, more money in there than I need. I've got a large buffer, right? So I'm just going to cut that buffer in half, which is another problem solving technique that I use. I learned this from some analysts at work. If you don't know, if you know that something's somewhere between 1 and 10, but you don't know where, just split it in the middle, just take the average, take the middle. And so I'm going to take that middle and I'm going to send it over to another bank. And I'm just going to keep less money in this. It's still going to be more than I think, but that buffer I'm going to reduce. That minimum balance, I'm going to reduce that buffer, and I'll just have to be aware of that. But I just can't have all this money sitting in this bank account that has no fucking return. And, I'm almost thinking like, there's even other things that I can actually do. There are ways that I could use less cash, and I have credit and all this stuff. So I'm not worried about it. I don't use a lot of cash. This is basically like, honestly, it's like my paycheck goes in and the alimony comes out. That's basically the way it works, right? And then I pay my credit card out of it. Of course, if I was ever in trouble, I can float that credit card. I guess I am floating the credit card. Or do I pay the whole balance on my credit card? I should probably start doing that, like paying the whole balance instead of the statement. I think I'm technically floating with the credit card. I don't think it really matters. Does that matter? Anyway, so did you hear that? I'm getting nagged again about the water, which is now starting to be like coffee, water, and it's really more about me going to work. Which reminds me, I need to do the pinging. I need to go do a ping. And while I'm here, maybe I should go check my email. And then I'm going to come back. And I believe, yeah. Okay. So all of what I was just explaining boils down to this, because there's a technique that I use. So I had this task, and the task is that I want to make sure that this money is now available, okay, in this money market account. Well, it's not urgent. I can totally just do it sometime this weekend. And that's what I'm going to do. But then it reminded me about this story I just told about my bank and how it's actually a credit union, but it's become it's a fucking bank. It's just a fucking bank. There's nothing. This actually put me over the edge, because I didn't realize how little this credit union felt like a credit union. And you know why? Because I used to remember all the time. It was always constantly, it's like, this is really a different experience. Honestly, it's like this is not a commercial or anything. It was really like, and by the way, it's not the case anymore anyway, so it can't be a commercial. So I had this credit union, and I remember just regularly, just sort of anything I needed, even like loans and stuff, like anything, I would just like start with them, and I cannot, and it used to be normal. I was just like, wow, this is different this is different. And I've been with these people for like, I don't even know, 20 years, 25 years. Anyway, here's the point. It doesn't feel like that anymore. And I can't remember the last time that I had an interaction with these fuckers and it felt special or different from a bank. So fuck them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take more money away from them and put more money over into this other account that I was just talking about. And so the way I'm going to do that is that, remember, I said I was originally just going to snooze this Gmail task over to Saturday. And then I was just going to check the balance. It's no big deal, but I just don't want to do it during the week. I'm not going to do it like in an evening this week or anything like today or tomorrow. I'm not going to do that. So let's just push it over to Saturday, but I'm adding something to it. And what I'm adding to it is moving more money away from this fucking bank. Okay. And so what I did was I replied to myself, because Gmail tasks are essentially the way I use them. I don't think the task functionality. I just use the email functionality. And so all these tasks are basically just emails to myself, right? And so what I did was I replied to myself, and I put in the beginning, move more money. And then I sent that, and then I deleted my original one. And so now I have an email that has the subject, move more money, and then the RE colon, which is the original thing, which is the checking of the balance. So it's all together, it's all related. And so on Saturday now, this is going to pop up. Well, I haven't snoozed it yet, so let's go ahead and snooze this for Saturday, this weekend. And now on Saturday morning, when I do my Gmail review, I'm going to see this, and it's going to be a two-part thing. I'm going to go in and check the balance. Oh, now that I think about it, it's a one-part thing, because I'm going to do both of these things from the Target bank account. So I'm going to go into this account, and I'm going to see, hopefully, that balance is actually available now. And then I'm going to suck more money right over into that account from my bank. I might go take a real quick peek at my bank account to make sure that buffer is still what I think it is. And then I'm going to reduce that buffer, that minimum balance kind of buffer. And then I'm just going to suck more money out. But it's all one task. It's all related. And it is actually something that I'll do at that time. And so now I'm good. So let's look at, we still have these two tasks, and there's only two that are remaining. So I'm going to go ahead and deal with these right now. One was I need to review this paperwork, this medical paperwork. I don't fucking care. It's like I've got a procedure coming up like a month from now or something. And there's no reason. I'm just not going to do it. Could I do this? Could I look at these papers if I have some free time? Yes. Can I go look at things that I have snoozed? Yes. So I'm going to get this out of my way and just punt it to Saturday. There's no reason why I could not look at this paperwork on Saturday. It's not my idea of a fun Saturday, but I don't know, maybe over coffee or something. So punt, and no earlier than Saturday, right? So get this out of my way. And then I have I need gas. I'm going to do this a little bit differently just to show some flexibility in how I can do this. Because the next items that I do not have to review, I am not going to review these things. I specifically won't review these things, but it's the remaining stuff in the inbox. In fact, this is still in the inbox, and I was searching only my unread tasks. So if I go back and I look at primary, now I'm going to see everything in my inbox, which is not that bad. And some of these things are these purple items that I can not pay attention to. But what I could do is say, look, is there anything? It's like I have this thing about I can do desk work at any time. Another thing I'm going to show you. I forgot. So I've got just like some things are tasks, like I need to mop my bathroom floor. I've got this paperwork thing. I have like this strategy of never watching TV before meditating, but it's not that big a deal. It's like just something I just kind of want to be out there. Visible maintenance. This is like taking care of the kitchen and sweeping and mopping and stuff like that. And then there's there's something here. It says it's time for new guitar strings, I think. And again, that's something that if I'm waiting for my daughter to come over, I can change my guitar strings. So I like having those things kind of in here. But again, I kind of also like to have a very clean, like Gmail inbox. Also, none of these things, even if I did them, there's literally nothing that I am going to need to drive to today. So this whole I need gas thing, it's kind of like maybe I just need to not worry about it because I just don't give a fuck. So you know what? I'm going to err on the side of not giving a fuck. If I've got to get gas, I need to get gas. If I'm a little bit late to somewhere, I'm a little bit late to somewhere. There's really nothing that I need to do. I don't have any doctor's appointments or anything like that. I've got the light. I'm not going to go get on the freeway and drive like downtown or anything. So I'm just killing it. It's too much. That was my drink water thing. I'm just not going to I'm not going to do that. I'm proud and happy that I've developed the habit. I've got another technique called what's next. That I was employing. It's like, look, I need gas. Okay, how am I going to remember this? What's next? And the what's next is maybe I should just put this in Gmail to remind me that I need gas, but I've never done that before. So, it doesn't meet the average person test either. And so it's just overkill. And I'm wanting to go. I want to do less of that. I want to do less of everything. Okay. And so I can look at these things, and what I want to do now is I can snooze all of these things for tomorrow, like all of them. But the only question becomes at this point, and again, as a matter of fact, as a matter of process, I should not have to look at these things because they're all red, which means none of them are none of these meet the Adhd principle for today. Like they're just not. Maybe the accumulation principle. But I'm just curious. So I'm going to look at these things to see if again, maybe my process should allow me to do this. But you've got these kind of reminders that I can do these kinds of things. I've got these kinds of things that I can be doing. And so the question becomes, are there some of these things that I want to be reminded of this evening? I just don't want to be distracted during the workday. If I'm going to be distracted during the workday, I'm going to be chilling out, maybe watching some TV over lunch. That's going to be the only thing that I'm going to be doing today. Other than work or maybe getting out, walking around the block a couple times. That's what I really need to be doing during the workday. And I just got to hit the productivity hard, especially right now while I'm caffeinated. However, I can look at these things and say, hey, are there some of these things I might want to see in the evening? Again, it's like, how much shit am I going to be doing this evening? And if I really, some of this stuff is like, it's an intersection and it's sort of like, hey, it's like a little bit of a nudge for these things to be in my inbox. It's sort of like, hey, we're out here. There's these things that you can do. The other way to look at it is fuck it. There's none of these things. And almost by definition, it's like, I'm going to snooze these for tomorrow. And if I'm looking for something just to kind of do or to pick off, I can always look at the snoozed stuff. In fact, I have something called is snoozed and is read. And you'll see some of these things. I even have got some cool shit. So I can come in here and I can get to those things. I can pull that stuff instead of having to be, very gently pushed toward me, right? So let's go back and look at these. I'm just going to look at them, and now I'm just indulging myself to see if there's something that I didn't classify these things the right way, because the way that you encode information for your future self needs to be consistent with the way that you're actually operating. And you don't want those things to become like out of alignment. And believe me, at least I am very good at getting wrapped around the axle and sort of lying to myself a little bit or not listening to myself in the future. So let me just read these. I can do desk work anytime. Okay, that's just, I'm not going to do any desk work tonight. Mopping the bathroom floor, no. I have a thing like never watch TV before meditating. I've been actually really fucking good about that. I really have. I meditated a shitload yesterday because of cooking. I have the new SEAM method, which is sleep, eat, exercise, and meditate. Those 4 things, nothing is going to get in the way of those 4 things. So I'm doing pretty well, but I still, I kind of like even just feeling good about implementing that. Then I have visible maintenance, and these are these little things around the house that I can do, and I put them in here, even though they're visible. I want to remember like that there are these things. Because sometimes I'll sit here and be like, wow, there's nothing to do. And I know that there's all these things to do. And I'll be sitting here like, oh, there's nothing for me to do. Like, what do I do with my weekend or something? Well, I can let's go do some shit. And then the guitar strings. So all these things are great, but I'm going to kill all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all. And all I have to do, and it's not for this evening. If there was something I really wanted to be reminded about, like a really important strategy or something, I would do it. But the idea of a strategy is antithetical, to having something be unread. If it's a strategy and it's important and it's something I want to remember, then it's got to be, something that's read. If it's something a strategy, it's important, then it needs to be unread. And so that it shows up in the badge count, so that will be displayed in the home screen intersection and all that stuff that we'll talk about later. So for now, I'm just saying, fuck it. And I'm snoozing everything to tomorrow. Okay. All these things. So now Gmail is clean. And here's a cool thing. Check this out. If I go into my calendar, I have, hang on. So all I need to do is look at the pink items. So one of the pink items was running the dishwasher, which I've already done. Let me go back into here real quick. I just want to make sure, I'm not losing track of time. Too bad. And then I do see 2 pink items. And one of them says, I did abductors on Monday. So that's just information. I think I'm going to leave that. I think that's kind of cool that I'm going to leave that, but let me make sure here. And then it says, do cables and dumbbells first at the gym. That has to do with my upper body stuff, but I can't even do that because of the fucking gym is so busy. I can't even get the dumbbells I need. So I'm just going to delete this in all future events. I don't need to remember that. But this little pink thing it's like, I did my abductors on Monday. So it's just a little reminder. And then I could have just recorded it. I was thinking about recording it like on Monday, like on that day, so I could look back and say, when did I do abductors? But then I thought, no, why don't I just put it like at the point of performance, put the information at the point of performance, which is today, to remind me that I did abductors on Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, I can totally do my core and legs. Okay. Which I also have as another thing. So you know what? I can delete this one. I'm deleting that other pink one. So now I've got today, other than what I've already accomplished with running the dishwasher, I have nothing. That's kind of cool. And if I look at snoozed items, let me make sure that I don't have anything else that kind of is going to creep in. No, I have nothing in Gmail and nothing on my calendar today other than routine for the rest of the day and into this evening. That is some powerful fucking shit. And then what I can tell you this just from my memory, just like natural and consistent, I'm working on this, but consideration of my needs, wants, and feelings. My plan for this evening, it's Thursday. My plan for this evening is just to be very fucking slow and mindful. And I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna exercise, and I'm gonna meditate. And that is all I need to do tonight. And then I'm gonna go from there, you know? By the way, by way of confessional, pretty cool. And I'll end with this story. Yesterday, I was getting a little bold. And I was like, you know what? I'm very hungry. And part of the reason is I eat I'm going to this lunch place at work on Wednesdays. It's only every other Wednesday, which is another thing that I'm able to pay for because I'm taking all of my PTO on Wednesdays because that's the day I'm supposed to be in the office. So that's the day I'm going to take off. And so I'm saving money. I'm saving transportation. I'm saving time. I don't have to get dressed. I do. So anyway, I got go to this lunch spot. And it's a little bit expensive and it's healthy, but it's a little bit smaller portions. And what that means is that it's good. I think that's a good thing, but I'm going to need to eat dinner. So yesterday I had to eat dinner. I'm like, you know what? Let me indulge in a big dinner. And so I decided to make a pasta dinner. It takes a little while longer. You got to boil the water. You got to boil the pasta. You got to clean the pot. You got to carve the chicken. It's a thing, but it's a fun thing actually. I like it, and it also gets broccoli into my body. The only time I eat broccoli is with pasta, chicken pasta. So it's a chicken broccoli pasta. It's very super clean because of how I dress it and stuff like that. But it's a fun little thing. It's like a little pasta party because what I do is I could be productive, while I'm boiling the water and then cooking the pasta and all that. But I don't. What I do is I watch TV and I have you can see it right here. Right there. That pass through goes into my kitchen. So I can be sitting here and watching, you can't see my TV for some reason. Wait, there, yeah, wait. Oh, it's the glare. Okay, so you can see my TV. This is how do I do that? Like this? That's my TV. And this is my couch, like right here, right behind me, right here. And I sit in my rocking chair, which is closer to my TV, and I can see through there. And I can actually monitor my water boiling, and I set a timer too, and it nags me and kind of look over there. So I'm watching TV, and then I have the whole cooking process. And there's downtime during this process. But it's little slivers of downtime, and I'm just kind of watching a TV show, and it's a nice little party. But end to end, like, it takes it ends up being like an hour for like dinner, right? But I allow myself an hour. That's why I say eat, exercise, meditate. That's all I do in the evening. So so I should be able to have that full hour, and I should be able to chill, and it passes the average person test, right? Even though I'm also want to exercise and meditate. Now, the other thing about the pasta is I can't meditate during any of those times because there's not enough time. But when I'm cooking chicken, I can. Wait a minute, did I do that yesterday? Holy shit, I did all of this yesterday. So yesterday, starting at 4:00, I did a full pasta dinner. I did not start cooking chicken until after I was totally done with the pasta dinner, which went into the 5:00 hour. it was only then that I even set out the chicken to come up to room temp and all of that. And while that was happening, I was meditating, which is what I would normally do anyway after eating, is, you know. And then it was only after the chicken was totally cooked, rested, put away, and all of that meditation that I then went to the gym. And then I went to the gym and I did a full upper body workout. I even came home. I had to come home and even finish my workout with my own dumbbells because the gym is such a fucking piece of shit. And I did it. And I did it immediately. And I did some other interesting brain hacking with music and how I even walked home and with this mentality that I was still at the gym and stuff. And so I did that. And then I did like the whole rest of my evening, which is, I even had to brush and floss my teeth on Wednesdays. I don't, you know, when I don't go in the office, I brush and floss my teeth after breakfast, and it's easier to do it during the day than in the evening, but I did that. And I took my shower, and I was able to chill out and with a little bit of TV, and then I went to bed. Fucking amazing, chill, and productive day. I might have even done laundry. Was that yesterday or the day before? And I know this because I captured it. Check on laundry. So on Tuesday, I did laundry, which is just nothing, right? But the fact that I was able to do it, so I even went to the grocery. So I went to the grocery, then I went to the gym, then I meditated. Yeah, because I wasn't hungry. Oh, and I see lunch, but I don't know what I ate for lunch. I just have lunch on there. I wish I would have known what I ate for lunch. Damn, I wish I would have known. But anyway, it was a crazy, productive day with going to the grocery. Oh, no, I cheated, though. Sorry. I did cheat because I went to the grocery at 3 o'clock, which, you know what? I did cheat, but I can also do that. I can totally fucking do that. I've done it before. And why not? Why would I wait until 4 o'clock and I'm off work or whatever when I could just fucking run up there, sneak up there, and get out before the insanity? And that's what I did. And it was like at the spur of the moment. I think I was even streaming when I did that. Then I went at 4 o'clock. I went straight to the gym. Then in the 5 o'clock hour, I meditated. Then at 6 o'clock, on the spur of the moment, with the clarity of now, I said, I'm going to do some laundry because I have time to do it. And I was eating oatmeal. Okay. So, and I know that I was meditating during the laundry, even though it's not represented exactly here, but I know that I was definitely meditating while the laundry. I know I was having oatmeal while the laundry, like, I don't care about how hot my food is or whether I get to finish my meal or I have to like swap the laundry out. Laundry is just, laundry and meals are fine. And laundry and cooking are also fine. And meditating and cooking are fine. And meditating and laundry are fine. So I've got all these fucking dope ass things that are obvious, but somehow not to me, but they're now becoming obvious and my brain is starting to get wired. And so yesterday was a wonderful test because I did everything. I even did my shoulder presses at home. I came home. I brushed and flossed my teeth and got in the shower. And then once I did that, I was totally fucking done. It was almost like uncomfortable. I was like, I don't anything that I need to do. Nothing. I even thought about I almost thought about streaming, but like that would have been not as good as maybe picking off some little stuff. But man, that was a pretty full day yesterday. And I did it all including having a luxurious dinner, right? So I need to remember that I can just spread things out. I can eat really clean, but I don't have to eat clean and I don't have to have pasta. I just wanted to test the system of like how I can do eat, meditate, exercise, and pasta and cook all in one evening. It's fucking insane. It's fucking crazy that I can do that. And I even ended up meditating more because I meditated for 20 minutes while I set the chicken out. Then what I do is I preheat the oven and then I prep the chicken, and it doesn't take the whole preheat time for me to prep the chicken, but still I end up with like 5 minutes or something, but I don't bother meditating for that. Then the chicken goes in and I get another 20 minutes. Because I never check the chicken before 20 minutes. So now I've got another 20 minutes. Then, I have to babysit it a little bit until it all comes up to temp, which is not that long, right? But I'm basically, again, these little tiny little slivers of maybe watching TV and going back and forth 2-3 minutes at a time, 4 minutes, letting things come up to temp. And then I rest the chicken for 15 minutes. Before I put it all away. And so I meditated again. So that's 20, 20, and 15. That's 55. Is that right? 20, 40, 55. I got 55 fucking minutes. 55 minutes of meditating in. Like, how does that even happen? And the way it happens is because I'm doing this and I'm playing guitar and I don't know. I just have these artificial fucking limitations. And I am breaking these things down. I'm demolishing these artificial limitations. And so now, my evenings are eat, meditate, exercise, and I know I can do all of those things with all kinds of time left. And I can work in whatever else I need to do, laundry, cooking, extra meditation, walking, whatever, easily. And then it's just, I can kind of go up from there and I can do these things. I can cook and whatever. So, and I can maybe pick off a few of these little things. If I could do all of that, then I also should have time to do like maybe not make pasta and then pick off some of these small things, right? If I don't have to cook chicken, then I should be able to like kind of work in a lot of other things. Maybe I need to like pretend like I'm cooking chicken and like pick off some of these other little things and meditate, whatever. Because my goal now is I'm doubling my meditation, by the way. So I'm in the gym. I'm now doubling my meditation. I was going from 15 to 30. The reason I was doing 15 is just to get into the habit of doing it. Right. And I'm there now. And so now I'm going up into 30. And then when I cook chicken, I'm actually meditating more. So like to me, cooking chicken and meditating, those go together. Doing laundry and meditating also go together. Doing laundry and vacuuming also go together really nicely. So I got all these things that I'm chaining together per like Atomic Habits, which just stole shit from everywhere else, but whatever. And we're really making some massive fucking progress with this stuff. But I don't want to write it all down. I don't want to have it in Gmail. I don't want to have to like check a list like, hey, are you happy? Are you still happy? Are you being mindful? No. I need to just flow and make sure that shit's not in my way. And I have absolutely nothing happening today. Absolutely nothing. Now I need to remember, I think, I don't want to fall in that trap of forgetting these like little things I can pick off. Like I know there's some things I want to do. I did clean the kitchen this morning. But I do want to get that. I want to attack that bathroom. I know I need to do some stuff on the floors here, but I also have things called weekends and PTO that I can do that. So I really want to just kind of get into this flow and see if I can exist without anything, which is actually, this is the last thing now. I lied because there is one more thing. I'm going to see if I look at today, let me test myself. And should I be carte blanche today? Which means I have nothing. I shouldn't even look at my phone today, right? let's see. So there's nothing pink. The only thing I need to look at my phone for is when I'm at the gym. But I already know that the gym, well, I don't want to forget my headset. We do have this reminder of fast food and pasta and stuff, which I'm almost at the point where I've already formed that habit, but I'm going to reinforce that. So I can look at my phone at 4 p.m. I'm going to do a check-in. It's going to yell at me anyway. So I can still be carte blanche because my phone's going to ring. I don't need to look at anything, right? So when is the next time I need to look at my phone? If I can really get my brushing and flossing teeth down, by the way, it's 9 o'clock and we're going to have, that's similar, right? I should be able to connect those two things. And I think I've already got them. If I stop looking at my phone, I think I can recognize it. Look, hey, it's time to brush my teeth and floss my teeth. So I may not even need that, but my phone's going to tell me that. There's this little reminder that I can be free from 11 to 1. I'm not willing to let go of that because it is a agency thing. It's around like remembering like these artificial limitations. Then I have a couple of things that are going to pop up around lunchtime to remind me, don't let myself get too hungry. I've got these fast food items and I shouldn't be eating pasta. That's it. And then there's nothing until 4. So basically I am not, I think here's another thing I want to do. I think I don't want this alarm, I messed up this alarm. I said 7:51 p.m. PM instead of AM. So do I even want, so let's evaluate, do I need, because that's what I'm going to say is why instead of why not on all these things. Do I need an alarm today for any of these things? And I'm going to say no. Am I going to die? Is there anything today that's dangerous if I just turn my phone off? No. And all of these things are really just habit things, like doing the fan, turning the fan on before bedtime. That's pretty important because I want to make sure that I've got the right temperature upstairs so I sleep well. So this is all like reinforcement stuff, but none of it. So here's what I think. I'm going to allow myself to have these reminders. I may even change my brushing and flossing teeth to later. I'm going to do that. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'll brush my teeth. Let's do this. I don't want to be interrupted from work. So at 8 p.m., I'm going to brush and floss my teeth. It's going to be this event only. Just because I did all this, I just don't want to, I want to get to work. I can be free from 11 to 1. I've got nothing to do, so I'm killing that for today. And then these reminders around food for lunch, I'm going to allow it. And then until then, it's just 4. And it's the same kind of reminders around dinner and the gym, and that's it. So there's nothing. And so I'm not going to set any alarms. I'm going to make this, I am going to say this is AM, but I'm turning it off. Even for tomorrow, I'm turning it off. And so, like I said, the only thing that's going to even happen, even make me aware of anything, is going to be eating. I think I want to brush my teeth. Set, brush teeth.
What date and time is this appointment?
10 a.m.
I scheduled your appointment for today from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
I'm going to allow that. And the only reason I'm going to allow that is just because of forgetting to eat, getting off track. So I'm going to allow that. It's okay that my phone says, hey, brush teeth, because I do, like, I'm into circadian rhythms, stuff like that. So I'm going to allow that. But again, in my head, I'm going to have carte blanche. And if I look at my screen, there's nothing. Okay. And I'm going to get rid of those things. And so now I'm going to like fully go back over to work. I still have my coffee. I didn't finish because I'm talking to you, but I'm really kind of freaking out. If I go back into Gmail, Gmail is clean. It says I'm all done in Gmail. There are no flags of any type. There's something in Reddit. Maybe I'll look at this while I take a drink of coffee. I got 50 upvotes on this thing. I said, I just did like a little clever thing on Reddit. People liked. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time. I like this format. I like kind of thinking through this stuff, explaining things to you. I think you're seeing me realize things in full time, in real time. And then, of course, I've got this presentation I'm working on, and maybe I start to move and do some stuff with this, but not today. I want to have a free day today. So I hope you have a free day as well. So remember, carte blanche, everybody, carte blanche. Don't forget it. Carte blanche, bro.